Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here. So yes, I am recording this the same day I'm posting it. Trying to get this up before New Year's or whatever. I recorded this video before, but it was a little bit too long for my liking. Well, welcome to the channel in the whole year review or whatever. So obviously I've been putting videos up pretty seriously for a couple years now. I want to say about 2 years now. This year was really the first year that I streamed on a more of a consistent basis. Last year I was a little bit more sporadic at the beginning of the year. Um, I posted a lot of videos. I have slowed down my posting schedule since the start of the year, but obviously I have IRL obligations. And of course, I'm still figuring out, what kind of content and that sort of deal. Anyways, that's besides the point. Just going straight into it. This first half of the video is going to be focusing on, well, what videos, have seen some more views. Y'all gonna be seeing some a little bit more back-end stuff, some analytics stuff that's also kind of interesting, I'll point out. And then in the last half of the video, we'll be talking about plans for next year, realistic. I know I did not meet all of my expectations this year. And as far as what's going to happen if you do end up leaving Destiny 2 next year, or what happens if you're sticking around Destiny 2 next year, we'll get into that in the later section of the video. But this is some back end shenanigans. We're gonna be by 50. I've uploaded more than 50 videos, which is a little crazy to think about. It's about 70-ish videos, I want to say. About 70-ish videos, which is not too shabby. That's a little more than one a week. Now, obviously, we started up the year strong, as you can see, Well, this is end of last year. Going into this year, going into this year, we had a bunch of momentum going in. A lot of these videos have gotten views way after I posted them. That is something to note, is a lot of these views did not come at the start. I'm a little bit surprised by some of these, like using Magic and Elden Ring. I was a little bit surprised by because the game's a little bit on the older side. That being said, the DLC was either on the horizon or had it already happened. I think it was on the way. I think it was on the way. I do feel like I did a little bit better as far as thumbnails this year as a whole compared to last year. I think I did a little bit better this as a whole this past year. Now, obviously, as far as likes and dislikes ratio, I'm so small to the point where the dislikes don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. At least not to me personally. I don't really care about dislikes really. If you like the video, appreciate you. If you don't, that's also fine. I more so pay attention to comments and whatnot way over likes or dislikes because I prefer interacting in that way rather than likes or dislikes. Any opinion, any time you state an opinion, there will be some dislikes, no matter what. So, and as far as percentages go, you really can't judge most percentages unless it's like at least 100, really, because one dislike will sway things so drastically. So, obviously, Soulstorm bosses. Obviously, I have some very hot takes for Soulsborne bosses. Top 5 best Soulsborne bosses. So, there's that. Also, I did not include Sekiro or Dark Souls 2 because I've not played either of those games. At least not enough of Sekiro. That's a misnomer to say I have not played Sekiro. I have, but I haven't finished it. So that's eh. But some co-op stuff did pretty decent. Now, Live Fault Bridge was my most proudest moment this past year. Ooh, that is a little bit of a tough thing considering. Oh wait, no, no, that must have been in 2024, right? Hold on a second. I'm gonna take a look at lives here just because I have to get a good judge. But wasn't Bloodborne's 10-year anniversary this year as well? Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yes, it was. It was in March. It was in March. Okay, it was in March. It was in March. I would say personally, because I thought I uploaded. It's gone crazy at some point, but I don't see the thumbnail. It is possible I uploaded it after. Anyways, so there's that, right? I would say Bloodborne is a close second, but Dubbing Over Lightfall for me is probably my personal favorite series that I did this past year. Obviously, these videos are super recent. I will get into this sort of the more recent era of my channel currently. Now here, Doom Dark Ages did not do well at all. I expected as much. That being said, I was going to push through it. However, unironically, the series did corrupt. There was in one of the episodes that corrupted, and then the other one I accidentally deleted. But also, my flash drive is broken right now. So kind of what happened is I heard a snap when I was taking it out of one of my USBs. And I looked and things seemed fine. And then I put it back in and it came out, but the inside of the USB thing came out of the flash drive. So I had to obviously make sure if you get anything caught in your PC, please turn everything off and flip the power supply off and unplug that bitch. All right, unplug that shit. So then I got some tweezers, and then I got in there. Well, not tweezers. I forgot what I used. I think I used a screwdriver. Don't do what I do. And then I got it out. Actually, I'm not even sure if I used a screwdriver. I don't remember what I used, but I got it out. So yeah, I can't use the flash drive anymore. Well, can't use it how I normally use it because it is a double-sided, so I can use the other side. But the other side is a lot slower. So I still have access to some of my files because it has some Soulsborne bosses in that flash drive. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with this. I had to stop a bridge, which I really didn't want to, but being realistic here, with someone of my size, I can't do it. I can't really do it because, I would need female voice actresses specifically because it kind of, you don't really notice this as you're playing through the game, but a lot of the DLCs don't have a ton of male characters. There isn't. And more specifically, Witch Queen doesn't, because I was gonna do Witch Queen as like a prequel deal, couldn't. And Final Shape, obviously, I can do enough voice impressions to replace most of the male cast myself. But the problem is, they're in Final Shape, Kaido, Savathun, Korra, Izuku as well is in there briefly. It's a little much. It's a little much. So yeah, I don't have enough characters to replace, so yeah. That's why I kind of had to stop, which is a little bit disappointing. Obviously, we did have a brief period, some pretty good views here. Everdark bosses did get some pretty decent views. I'll get into Night Rain in a second, but obviously Destiny 2 videos are gonna be bad. They are gonna do better than anything else that I post, because pretty popular. Still. Now, again, this is an opinion piece. It's the Edge of Fate review. It's gonna get a dislike. I am shocked no one disliked the raid that finally ended me. This, I was probably my most critical in this. Well, besides maybe Edge of Fate, which I'm not gonna discuss it now at all or anything like that. It's one of those, if you've been on the channel for a long time, you know. If you haven't been on the channel for a while, you're not gonna know some of my history as far as I am borderline psychic when calling out how stuff is going to end up. And by the way, I'm not going to post a Renegades review. Expansion is just not big enough for me to go out of my way to do it. Now, and also Epic Dungeon I will probably do as well. It's just a little bit of a weird situation. But yeah, I was surprised it didn't get any dislikes. Now that I'm saying that it's going to. Path of the Burning Steps, I'm not completely sure who disliked it. I don't remember putting an opinion in here. But again, pretty decent viewage. This one, again, it's an opinion piece, and it's negative on Destiny 2. Gonna get a dislike. This is an opinion piece. Gonna get a dislike. This is an opinion piece. Gonna get a dislike. These had a string of several likes in here. Now, okay. We need to talk about copyright strikes and age restrictions. I'm going to gloss over age restriction because in a different video, I posted this. This video did not get age restricted, ironically enough. But yeah, I got age restricted. Now, since I've been age restricted, I have not breached 30. 30 views. To be fair, I have not posted a Destiny 2 video. No, yes, I have. Yeah, well, 30. This is the only one that breached it. So, yeah, it kind of killed the channel for a little bit. I'm still hoping I can recover. I have seen that due to not delete these kinds of videos that get age restricted due because of what have you or whatever. I have tried most things, but obviously I'm not going to get into a hold of a real YouTube agent. I'm just not going to because I'm a small little fish fry. Now, as far as copyright, I think I have 1 or 2 strikes on my channel. By the way, this is because like the channel's fucking old as dirt. But however, in terms of claims, I have 2. One for the Lightfall Abridged episode because I did a parody of Kiss from a Rose, and then my Hunter's Gone Crazy, the My Dad's Gone Crazy parody for Bloodborne. So those 2 got claimed. Now, a claim is different than a strike. I can get as many copyright claims as I want to, but obviously, if those videos ever get monetized, which they aren't, whoever owns the music or whatever would take money from that, take all the money from that video. I ain't monetized, so I don't give a fuck. I kind of did low key, but yeah, since then I have not really recovered. Also, Lies of P, not super popular from what I've noticed. I am going to keep going because my guess is going to be like the final video is going to do better than the rest of them. But keep in mind, I do have a bad habit of getting to games late. So there's all of that. And obviously, these videos are a little bit too new. This one's Night Rain. My Night Rain videos started to do way less good after the initial boost thing. So I'm not going to be posting Dreadlord. Just not going to. Now, as far as streams, God damn. Goodness gracious alive. But obviously, I started streaming a lot more consistently this year. And streams, some are pretty good, some are not. I would say the Destiny 2 streams will do a little bit better. That being said, it's rare for a stream of mine. Now, keep in mind, some of these views do come after. They do come after. While I am streaming, it is rare for me to get consistent viewership while I'm streaming. That is just something to keep in mind. Oh yeah, and then I was still playing Halo during this early section as well. And again, Destiny 2 grinding for some reason. There's a lot of views, I guess. I don't know how. We're not going to talk about First Berserker Kazan. As far as... We'll get into games in a second. But Hades 2 stream, my mic was not plugged in, but I mean, that was pretty decent. This one had a dislike for some fucking reason. But again, some fighting games they're either toxic or not. Only one way to find out, really. But as you can see, Borderlands 4, dislike, some random reason. This one got 2, state of play. Because I said it's probably gonna be trash, it kind of was. Just being real, Wolverine saved it. Again, I stated an opinion in here. That's why it is a dislike. So, and also these copyright restriction. It's not a strike at all. It's just kind of like a claim. Like there's copyrighted content in there. But I don't make enough money, so I doubt Sony's gonna ever go out of their way to do anything about it. Grinding. No, so here's what this tells me. I probably have a hater that watches my streams sometimes. Or they just go around disliking things. But, I don't really care. They can just chill out. They're still giving me a view either way, so, like, it's not really like that. This was privated for some reason. Oh, maybe because it was super quick? I don't know. I will say some of the most surprising... So I guess I'll get into... Well, let's go to analytics first. I'm trying to be a little bit more concise than I usually am. Let's go 2025. For this past year. My views are about the same. Again, as you can see, my channel's tapered off quite a bit. Watch time is up. Again, has gone down. I guess something to keep in mind is I did post longer videos earlier half of the year. And then subscribers up, down a little bit of growth than previous years, but that's okay. Now, top content. These videos are old as fuck. I have no idea why these are here. They're old. Like next year they'll be 2 years old. I don't know why these are still getting views. They're old as fuck. Like it's to the point where I stopped replying to any comments under these because it's just so outdated. The videos are so outdated. Um, and then the rest of the videos are from this year, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good. By the way, I do recommend checking out the Hades 2 stream because I did beat Typhon there. I did beat the Surface in there. So yeah. Content, I think is, well, no, that's not really what I want to see. Maybe audience? Yes, audience is what I wanted to see. What I wanted y'all to see. So, now this is Asian gender. This is not exactly true. I do know there's some women that watch me, so this is not entirely true. But obviously, there's not going to be this is never going to be accurate. But this is, I find interesting. I am personally 24. I will be 25 in February. I find it interesting that almost like over half of my views are from people between the ages of 25 and 34. This is definitely because Souls games I cover quite a bit, and I don't really do the whole like skewing the younger ages things. Obviously, there's some people from 18 to 24. Makes sense as well. I'm a little bit surprised that the 11% is even this high for 35 to 44. I do find that's interesting. Now, what I find crazy, like, first off, who the fuck viewed me from Turkey? But I'm being put on a TV? This TV percentage is huge. Obviously, for shorts, obviously, going to be on my phone. I've only posted one short this year, and that was My Hunter's Gone Crazy, so... But in terms of lives compared to videos, like more of my live streams are generally put on a TV more than videos, which is fine. But I was kind of shocked that TV was this high. I think last year, yeah, there was a whole crap load in phone. So yeah, it seems like I'm being put on a TV a little bit more often this year, which is really cool. Really cool. Appreciate y'all. Now, obviously, not gonna go into earns or customizations or anything like that, because I ain't monetized. Would I show even if I was? Probably not necessarily. I don't know. I'm not a huge. I don't really care when other YouTubers do it, but I do find this back end stuff kind of interesting. So now, what have I learned from this year personally? One, getting better about finding what y'all like for me to stream is kind of key. As far as having building up YouTube, like me streaming on YouTube or whatever, I think having a consistent Sunday night streams, I think has worked out way better than just streaming randomly. Having one dedicated day where okay, I have to stream this day at this time, I think has helped quite a bit. I think, for maybe y'all can jump in the comments below. That helps, okay, I know he's going to be streaming during this time. Obviously, has there been some cases where that's not been the case? Yes, but I usually have something going on. Like next year, I probably won't. The weekend of the January 25th and the weekend of my birthday, which is in February, I won't be streaming then. Because my birthday, I believe, is on a Saturday? But in January, it's Torchic and I's 6-year anniversary, so that's good. That has, so yeah, I obviously will not be streaming during that weekend, because our anniversary is on a Sunday. So obviously, I'm not really going to be streaming during that weekend, right? So, yeah. I think that's helped quite a bit. As far as the video side of things, I ain't figured it out yet. I have not figured it out yet. Now, Destiny 2 is kind of strangling me right now because I'm farming for the Taken Crystal and I can't get a hold of it. I'm at 11 completions now and I have not gotten the Taken Crystal to fucking drop yet. And I need it to post a lightsaber video. Now, I'm getting ready to post an Arc Titan build. It's a little bit different than usual because I'm not featuring an exotic weapon. I'm featuring a legendary weapon, but an exotic armor piece. I forgot there's a particular interaction that does not work. But, you know what? We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I have some stuff in the pipeline or whatever coming out, right? And obviously I streamed the dungeon, the blind run of the dungeon. So that's up and everything for, you know, y'all to see if y'all so choose. And instead of having a video with like Heliostat, because dungeons are usually a lot longer than exotic missions to post a blind run for. So yeah. Now, as far as next year's plans. Oh, I'm glad y'all watched this video. Because, especially if you gotten this far, Dark Souls 3 is having its anniversary next year. I believe in March. Or it might be May, but I think it's March. Well, I'll double check that, though. Obviously, I will be streaming until I have beaten every single Dark Souls 3 boss. Every single Dark Souls 3 boss. And I will have a punishment wheel that I will spin when I die, right? And it's going to be interesting. Because this time, because like last year, and by the way, Dark Souls 3 launched in March in Japan and in April, like in terms of global release. We're going with the March date. I'll be streaming until I beat the game, defeating every single boss, including both DLCs. Now for the wheel, it's going to be a punishment wheel. Don't worry, sparkling water will be on that. If you don't know about my situation with sparkling water, go back in the live streams and find the Bloodborne stream. Oh boy. But besides that, I will have a little spicy mode thing, salty, sweet, and sour. Sour, it will be Warheads. Salty will be salted caramel, because I hate salted caramel. And then for spicy, obviously it's going to be Frank's Extra Red Hot. I'm going to have a medium for that one. Again, we're not trying to just completely destroy my stomach, so we're going to be taking things in moderation. If something is rolling too many times, I will veto it, especially if I'm not feeling very well. In terms of sweet, we will likely be doing... we might circumvent things and do like some sort of something that's supposed to be sweet and I'm supposed to like, but I don't. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be one of those things. We might do grapefruit juice, because I don't really like grapefruit juice, but it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to figure things out. You know, if y'all have any suggestions for the quick sweet category, do let me know in the comments below. Now, in terms of what's going to cover on the channel next year. So that coming month, Code Vein 2 releases. That will be a full-blown series on the channel. It will not just be a review. That being said, I will still post a review afterwards or whatever. But Code Vein 2 will be getting a full-blown series. Obviously, Lies of P is going to come first. Lies of P, we're going to be finishing that up. We are going to be grinding the shit out of Lies of P and getting that wrapped up for y'all. At least those of y'all that have been watching it. But Lies of P will be first. Then Code Vein. Keep in mind, Code Vein 2, I'm going to have to finish by March. In March, y'all will also be getting a Dark Souls 3 music video. I did it for Bloodborne. I'm doing it again. This time, however, the music is going to be completely original. That means the drums, bass, melody, lyrics and everything. All of that is going to be completely original. So I can't get copyright claimed. I have hit a bunch of Easter eggs in here. I think this will probably be the most amount of Easter eggs that I have hit in a song, but not inside the lyrics itself within the mix. The music's pretty much almost done at this point. There's still a little bit of stuff I have to take care of, but in terms of mixing, but all in all, it's pretty much done. Now, as far as the 007 game, the 007 will be a streamed game. It will be a streamed game. And then I will post a review at some point for it. I will likely have 2 save files, one for obviously a review, and then one for stream. I might stream a little bit more often in that period of time, so I might stream 2 days a week instead of one. But Sunday will be the guaranteed. Sunday night will be the guaranteed night. Outside of the obviously the weeks that stuff going on. Now, as far as Destiny 2 goes, because obviously next DLC will probably be happening in the summer, and obviously Shattered Order is going to be happening in this either February or March. Keep in mind, I'll be covering the exotic mission. Probably nothing else. Bungie doesn't really make meaningful changes to subclasses or weapons, at least not enough for me to be interested. So I would not expect any build videos to come out except for maybe the exotic. I'm personally hoping it's an ARC one, because we have no exotics that have came from dungeons or exotic missions that have been an ARC. It's the only element type that has never appeared in either of those. And we haven't gotten one from a raid in 6.5 years. It will be 7 years in October. But I will also be determining during the summer if I will be continuing Destiny 2 or I will be dropping it entirely. If I do decide to drop it, at that point, I will be ranking all of the raids properly. I will be ranking all of the dungeons except for Westeros Thunder Doctrine. I'm not wasting my money on it, on those 2 dungeons. And I will be skipping, and I will be, those will be the only 2 videos, and then that'll be it. That'll be it. And before I would ride off into the sunset and wait for Destiny 3 to happen, if I do indeed leave Destiny 2, a new subclass would not even bring me back. That's kind of where I'm at with this game. Like, if we don't get a new subclass come, obviously, summertime, or we don't get, like, something like, hey, we are working on Destiny 3, or something like that, some semblance of updates, then, yeah, I'm dipping. I'm dipping. In exchange, I might get some First Ascendant videos here or there. Probably not, though. Not really my style. And as far as what will be replacing it, probably nothing. If I'm just being perfectly honest, no game will probably replace it. Just being real here. But keep in mind, I have a lot of stuff. Now, Marvel's Wolverine, don't know when that's releasing. That will be getting a full playthrough when that game releases. Phantom Blade Zero will be getting a full playthrough when it releases. Some games that will likely be delegated to reviews. Tomb Raider, the remake, will likely get just a little review over a full-blown playthrough, because that's one of those things where I don't know how it's going to do. Tokon Fighters, if it releases next year, Tokon Fighters will be a review as well, not a story playthrough, because I feel a little bit weird about that. I don't know how to do that. If raid bosses get introduced, I will likely be doing that. So yeah, a lot of stuff. I will not be revisiting Elden Ring for a Tarnished Edition. I think that's a little much. The other announcements come up. Any other games that I look at later on and be like, ooh, I like that. I might dabble in that. It will be getting a review. Atomic Heart DLC 4 will be releasing. I will not cover that on the channel. I will not even be putting a review out for it, because the first 2 DLCs for Atomic Heart sucked, and the third DLC wasn't super good, but it was good. It was pretty decent. It was pretty alright. It was what I expected from the first 2 DLCs. And then Atomic Heart 2, if it does release this year, I'm personally doubtful. If it does release this year, I will likely post a review for it, not a full-blown playthrough for it. Depending on how the gameplay looks, because I know sometimes watching me play that game in particular can be a little jarring, because it's a weird first-person thing. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. I do appreciate y'all for watching. If you did, drop me some comments below. Drop me some comments if there's any particular games you would like to see me cover, even if they're new or old. Switch games being completely exempt from that, because I just can't. Now, something to keep in mind as far as some older games that, okay, I would like for you to cover this. Sekiro is probably going to be off the table. I just can't get into the game. I got all the way to going into the past, I think, and I just didn't click with me the same way a lot of other games have. Now, Nier Automata, I do not plan on ever recovering again. I played the game once and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna leave it at that. From what I've heard, the game doesn't really get good until subsequent playthroughs, but I don't really want to go through all that just for me to like a game. Now, I'm going to mention 3 words. Now, don't get your hopes up here. This game's gonna be treated like Bloodborne, like how Sony treats Bloodborne. But Dark Souls 2, I don't really plan on ever recovering, unless we reach 500 subs. At that point, I will cover Dark Souls 2. I will suffer through Dark Souls 2, but only if we get to 500 subs. That is it. That is it. Alright. So I'm just putting that out there. So I will probably either never have to cover Dark Souls 2, or it'll happen a long ways away. And I'm okay with that. But I will fulfill that promise. If we do get 500 subs, I will cover Dark Souls 2. Like, I will play it. And I will play it without any mods equipped unless they're graphical. Or kind of memey, similar to the Stripper Andre in Dark Souls 3 that I had. Anyway, so let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Appreciate you for watching. On that note, though, I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side.